Listen, I'm easy to find. And then they can kiss my ass.
Cut it off! I am having a very bad day. I am in no mood. This, today, is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time. I'm not in the mood to play with anybody. I mean, damn it! I'm ticked off!
Welcome. This is episode 9, Big Nate Sports Talk, season 9, episode 9. As you see the title of the video. Before we get into that, I would like to also bring to your attention that Brittany Griner sent the letter to the White House making a direct appeal for freedom. Just wanted to point out some of the things that were written in that letter. And I quote, "As I sit here in a Russian prison alone with my thoughts and without the protection of my wife, family, friends, Olympic jersey, or any accomplishments, I'm terrified I might be here forever. On the 4th of July, our family normally honors the service of those who fought for our freedom, including my father, who is a Vietnam War veteran. It hurts thinking about how I usually celebrate this day because freedom means something completely different to me this year." End quote. Quote, "I realize that you're dealing with so much, but please don't forget about me and the other detainees. Please do all you can to bring us home. I voted for the first time in 2020, and I voted for you. I believe in you, and I still have so much good to do with my freedom that you can help me restore. I miss my wife, I miss my family, I miss my teammates. It kills me to know how they are suffering so much right now. I am grateful for whatever you can do at this moment to get me home." Also wanted to point that up. So, as I said, hope everyone's had a great 4th of July. I've made it clear that I was in no celebratory mood for it. Just wasn't. This going on. There's really no need to celebrate it. Thank you for those that sacrificed and protected us here. It's much appreciated. Thank you for your service. But other than that, it was just another day. At least I'll say that I thank God for allowing me to see another day. I will be thankful for that. Let me say it that way. But we're going to get into it. Tomorrow, probably in the evening, NBA free agency week 1 is complete. You'll see a video for that. I had not forgotten to create shorts for the NBA draft. Just been busy outside of YouTube with work. But you'll see those up shortly. Even if it just takes the week, it's quite all right. I do apologize if you hear fireworks in the background. I cannot get them to stop. They have been going off since 7:30 this evening so far. They probably won't be done until like 1 or 2 in the morning, but that's okay. Yesterday on the road, Connecticut, Elena Delle Donne did not play. It was advised that this would be a rest day for her. And would have thought, okay, kind of caught me off guard, but I figured the lineup that he was going to have out there would make a difference. It did some way. The final score, the Connecticut Sun 72, the Washington Mystics 74, Connecticut Sun 72, Washington Mystics.
I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to. I mean, this is. What was that? What the hell was that? I'm sorry the H words and the D words aren't appropriate over the airwaves, but it's going to be today. I don't know how much more of this I can take. How in God's name?
Well, I don't really know what to really say. I knew going into this game without Elena, I would really wanted to see how that offense would look like without her, because I feel like I've said it before and I'll say it again. The identity that there's an identity that needs to be built that's not Elena Deladon offensively. And in the first half, I thought it went well. We had a 17-point lead in second half. I don't know what happened. I have no words. I'm sitting there watching the game. My mouth literally hit the floor. I couldn't tweet. I couldn't do anything. I just couldn't believe how a team in the first half that did so well. They were aggressive offensively. On the defensive side of the ball, they made things tough for Connecticut. And to just completely – the way the first half was, it was completely all Washington Mystics. Ariel Atkins was 5 of 5. She didn't miss a single bucket. She had 14 of 28 points, over 28 points. Going to half, we were up 15. Then going into the third quarter, that's when all hell broke loose. The lead was down to 5. The Washington Mystics in the third quarter were held to under 25% as a whole.
I mean, this is some bad stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I just don't know. This is ridiculous. Oh, Lord.
The fact that we were outscored, we only scored 10 points in the third quarter. Both offenses were honestly and truthfully lethargic in the third quarter. The fourth quarter wasn't any damn better. I mean, open shots, we weren't making any open shots. Turning the ball over, which has been a glaring issue for us this season. I mean, the fact that just in the fourth quarter, the Washington Mystics turned the ball over 9 times. I mean, the fact that there was almost a 5-minute stretch. We didn't even score a basket. Didn't happen. I mean, the fact that looking at this box score, and this is simply just, you're not going to win basketball games where as a cohesive unit, you take 21 threes and you only make 4 of them. That's not going to win basketball games. And it damn sure is not going to help you win basketball games when you're turning the ball over almost 19 times. I mean, when you go open shots. This wasn't happening. I mean, Alyssa Thomas, who's not a shooter, most of her points came within the paint. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 9 of 17. Courtney Williams, 15 points. Letitia Heidemann had 14. I mean, Connecticut allowed us in the first half to shoot under 60%. And they were playing zone. Connecticut was. Shots just weren't falling. I never in my wildest dreams would have ever seen a 17-point lead get blown out like that, and then going to overtime. Don't get me started on that, because I mean, just to also show you how angry I am. In the fourth quarter, the Washington Mystics as a whole only scored 7 points, and then to throw more salt to the wound, they scored 6 points. 4 of those came from Alicia Clark.
I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is disgusting. It's disgraceful. It's embarrassing. And I'm ticked off. It don't make any sense. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And something needs to be done about it. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I mean, I think also too the fouls. There was a lot of. I'm not going to question the foul calling. I mean, if you're getting a number of fouls called on you, that means you're probably doing something wrong, and that was for both teams. Fouls to me should not be a deciding factor. The fact that we we just weren't hitting shots. Like there was one possession where Tiana Hawkins, they left her open and she missed a shot. I mean, I don't know what else you guys want me to say. That has I've never been that frustrated watching this Mystic team. The Washington Mystics are a good team. They're not championship caliber, because this is exactly my fear. I knew it was going to happen. They got to figure it out offensively. They have to. I know if they're capable of doing it because they're all simple fixes. I mean, it was a tale of two halves. Give Connecticut credit. They did everything right that we didn't. I mean, they stayed with it. Toughness, grit, grind, any other type of attitude you want to. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say the Washington Mystics quit. I'm never going to say that, because they will tough it out every game. But to just see a tale of two halves, and offensively we had no answers. I'm disappointed. Disappointed. And on that last play, Brianna Jones had the game-winning block. And then also to look at this box score for Connecticut, I'm really disgusted that she only had 1 point and she only touched the ball 2 times. I would like to see her get more touches on the ball. That's just me, because I'm biased because she went to Maryland. I love Brianna Jones. But 1 point, come on, we can get her involved. We can do better than that. Not her, get her involved more offensively. But majority of their starters, Dawana, Lissa, John Cole played 26 minutes, had 5 fouls. But majority of your starting lineup was Courtney, Natisha, Dawana, Alyssa. They all practically played 40 minutes. And Connecticut's bench, Dejanay Carrington didn't really have that great. Well, she didn't have that great of a game, but she was active on the defensive side of the ball. Joyner Holmes had a 3-pointer. I mean, the bench was much not of a factor. But open shots, turnovers. 421 is not going to win you basketball games. Or turning the ball over 19 times is not going to win you basketball games. So let's play the clips. We'll play the pregame clips from Coach T and postgame. There was one question in the postgame that really almost made me break my phone, because it was, I don't know why you would try to get a reaction. I don't know what was, I feel like that was a reach for one of the questions. But just take a listen.
Last time we saw these guys, this Connecticut Sun was on fire.
Also, too, the reason why there was some audio trouble, so I apologize.
Is there a volume on this, Kara? I think that's
Can you
an
hear me?
issue.
Hold on for a second, Nathan.
All right.
Yes.
So, you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yes,
Can you hear
we
me?
can hear you.
Yep.
Good afternoon, Coach T. How are you doing today?
I am good.
Yes, sir. Last time we saw the Connecticut Sun was on Father's Day. It was a big win. Started with the defense. What is the plan of attack in going and trying to beat them for the second time this season?
I mean, it shouldn't be much different than the last time. It should be play good defense first, which we did in that game. Try to take away their strengths. It'll be a little bit differently, a little bit different offensively without Elena. But I think, one of the things, especially when you play here on the road, is you have to be very calm on the offensive end and very emotional and intense and communicating on the defensive end. So you have to have that balance in a game like this. So it starts on the defensive end. Let's make them take tough shots and don't give them second ones. Yeah, offensively, we had Atlanta on Father's Day, but is there anyone specifically on the offensive side of the ball you're looking to step up with? I remember you said a few weeks ago before Alicia and Atlanta came back, it was like 33% of our offense not there in the lineup. So with Atlanta not in there, we're looking more for the bench. We're looking for more like who you expect to step up just a little bit more. Well, I don't need anybody to play hero ball, but I do need us to get a good balance. I think that, obviously Maisha and Tiana Hawkins are going to play more minutes, and so they need to be a part of our offense. They don't need to necessarily replicate Elena. That's not their job, but their job is to, get themselves in positions to get good looks, to get shots. It's our team's responsibility to, one of the things that Elena did against them last time is that she created an extra defender coming to help on her and opened up people. We need that to happen today by setting good screens or by great penetration in our pick and roll offense so that we draw a second defender and get the easy looks that we've been getting for the last few games. I've been thrilled the last 3 games moving the ball so well. So, I think that we've got to find ways to create that today, and it's going to come from some balance in our offense. I appreciate you. Good luck today, sir. Yep, thanks.
I wanted to also point this out really quick. Tiana Hawkins was 3 of 5. She made one of the 4 threes. It was a mid range that she missed, where they left her open, and I think it was in that point in the game where we couldn't buy a bucket. So I wanted to reiterate that. I do apologize. I said she missed a 3. She was 3 of 5 from the field. So that was the pregame. So those were the things we were supposed to look for in this game against Connecticut. Post game,
all right, we can go and get started. Kareem.
Hey, Mike. Oops.
and also to really quick shout out to Kareem Copeland and Jen Hatfield. I got their permissions to play them, play their questions in the clip. So I do want to give them a shout out.
Hey, Mike. Oops, am I unmuted? Okay, yes, I am.
Good.
What happened in that second half? The offense just completely changed.
Well, missed shots. I mean, I thought we got some of the same shots, but they, I thought the first 4 minutes of the third quarter were key. I thought we played at the same kind of pace we did in the second quarter, which wasn't quite good enough. But they played at a much more aggressive pace, particularly on the defensive end. They got more aggressive on the defense. They trapped us a little bit more. They decided to make it very difficult in all ball screen situations. They abandoned their zone, and we didn't handle it. And then we missed some of the same shots we made in the first half. I mean, when you go 0 for 9 in the second half from 3, that's not a good stat. We weren't shooting it well anyway, but we were 4 for 21. That won't win any games. I mean, I don't have a simple answer for you. If I had, I would have fixed it. their pressure was better. And, one of the things we talked about before the game is that we have to be very calm on the offensive end and very emotional and forceful on the defensive end. And I thought we did that for a half. I don't think we stayed as calm in the second half. I don't think we read very well how we were being played. I thought we dribbled into tough situations, and you're not doing yourselves any favors. I mean, we missed some layups in the middle of the second half that would have, I think when it was like a 5-point game, we had a chance to push it to 7 or 9 again, and instead we miss layups and they come down and get it to a 1-point game.
Disgusting.
You mentioned that first 4 minutes. Did you feel some life kind of come out of the team? Because those first 4 possessions, I think, were turnover.
I mean, that takes the life out of a team.
Mhm.
You can't have starts like that. I told our players just now in the locker room, we gave them confidence in those first, couple minutes of the second half.
End of overtime. Is that what you wanted to run, Alicia, going for that layup and then fouling afterwards? Was that the game plan?
We said if she had the wide open 3, take the 3. We were set it up for her on one side, Ariel. She had a little bit of space, but she saw Jonquil Jones coming. We said we have plenty of time to turn around and foul again, which we did.
And it was a very, very smart basketball play. That's why I love Alicia Clark. That was beautiful basketball IQ. That was a good play.
To give ourselves an opportunity. I said, if you have a wide open layup, take the 2 points because there's enough time left. So, yes.
And I was going to ask the same thing about the final possession of overtime. Jones came over for the block, but
I mean, she helped off of Shakira. We thought that, if they helped, that pass would be available. We shot it instead and got a block. And luckily, we got the ball back, but we didn't execute the very last baseline out of bounds play right either.
Thank you, Mike.
Jen?
Hey, Coach, going back to the first half when Ariel had, I think it was 12 points, what was working for her as far as, spots she was getting into and shots she was knocking down?
I don't think that they guarded her as tight as they did in the second half. I thought she had cleaner looks. I think we had some off of our defense too, where she got out in the open court and got some looks. I just think it was their defensive intensity changed in the second half. And so, they didn't guard her as well in the first half as they did in the second half.
And then in the second half, I think that's as frustrated as I can ever remember seeing Jonquil Jones in any game. How would you assess kind of your interior defense, Shakira, Maisha, Tiana, those guys on Jonquil?
I mean, I think we did a good job on her early. I don't think we did late maybe, but I think we frustrated her and she got herself in foul trouble. I mean, I think that's part of, her frustration was being in foul trouble. When she gets in foul trouble, their team is different.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
Yep.
Nathan?
Hey, Coach. Just one question for you. In the fourth quarter, we only scored 7 points.
Yep.
Is there anything Connecticut was doing in the fourth quarter that could have been fixed?
That they were doing? No, I think we missed open shots. I mean, we missed wide open threes. We missed layups at the rim. We turned it over. Some of it was their defense. Some of it was just us. I mean, the ball, I say this all the time, and it's not more complicated. If you have an open layup and you don't make it, what can anybody else on your team or coaching staff do to fix that?
Let me play that again. So y'all hear that. So you get one more time so y'all can hear that.
Make it.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Let me play that again for y'all. I want y'all to hear that. I want you to hear that one more time what he said. That's key.
It over. Some of it was their defense. Some of it was just us. I mean, the ball, I say this all the time, and it's not more complicated. If you have an open layup and you don't make it, what can anybody else on your team or coaching staff do to fix that? That's the way it is.
And then you talked about the front court kind of being the key for this game. In the first half and the second half, like what grade would you give them overall?
I'm not giving grades until I watch the film. There's too much emotion after a game like this to give a grade to anybody right now.
Yes, sir.
I don't even do that with my own team in the locker room, so I'm not giving it to you guys.
Yes, sir. Safe travels. Thank you. Then there's one other question I'm not going to play because I don't know. The question that was asked, I mean, was kind of the same thing that Kareem asked, that Jen said, and then I kind of said, and he kind of reiterated it. There really was no point to the question. And then the question regarding Brianna Jones and the block, that made no sense. But
Skip. Good Lord, thank the good Lord I am on FCC airwaves. I thank the good Lord. It's hard to take, man.
I don't really know what else to say, other than they'll figure it out. I know what they're capable of doing. That's frustrating to watch a team in the second half collapse like that, and then on the road, where to me I feel like it's a playoff. To me, I feel like a playoff game. I think because they're the third seed and we're the fifth seed, so I think you would have got home field advantage if either team would have won. But I'm kind of concerned what the second half of the season is going to look like. I still think I think they'll get it together. I think All-Star break is a good opportunity to regroup and figure some things out. We got one more game against Atlanta. It's on the road. And I already know that they were here Tuesday and we blew them out the gym. We did everything right. It was the offense. Offense was clicking on all cylinders. After Natasha Cloud didn't make the All-Star team and Elena Deladon didn't make the All-Star team, I felt like we took our frustrations out on them. The Atlanta Dream's also shown that you can have mental lapses as a young team. Because, I mean, you look at the Atlanta Dream, they're all young. With the exception of Shine Parker, Kia Long, Erica Wheeler, and Monique Billings. It's a young squad. So, hi, Lucinda. Good to see you. Happy 4th of July. Thank you. But when the media availability comes, I'll be sure to ask Coach T, what did he see in the film? What's the adjustments and what to expect against Atlanta? Because I know for a fact that they're going to beat the Atlanta Dream 83-70.
Guaranteed.
There's nothing really I can say about Atlanta. They're figuring it out. They just have a lot of growing pains right now. And the Washington Mystics, I know they're going to take their frustrations out on them again. So we could actually sweep them. Tomorrow. But I'm going to switch to the rankings for Week 9 of WNBA. This was a very interesting week because not only did we lose, the Aces lost, the Sun lost before we played them, and number 12, we're going to start with the Indiana Fever. I don't know what you all been saying about Indiana. Indiana is just a young team. 5 rookies. I mean, they're figuring it all out. They lost to Seattle, and I think they only scored, it was like 57, 58 points. I still hold out hope that they'll win 10 games, but they are not a playoff team. They've got a couple years to go, and they'll be okay. But other than that, I'm not expecting much from the Indiana Fever. Number 11, the Dallas Wings. They've been very disappointing to watch. I think this is going to be Vicki Johnson's last year, in my opinion. I don't see it. I mean, they've lost, what is it? the last 4-5 of their last games. I don't know what happened to the Dallas Wing team from 2 weeks ago. And I'm not, and I can understand the frustration, but I don't, you've got to channel your energy better. Isabel Harrison, I love her, out of Tennessee, one of my favorite players, used social media to voice her displeasure about getting the minutes that she's been getting. I think she only played 17 minutes against Minnesota. And I can understand that. But I think right now it's just not working with Dallas. I think as Vicki Johnson, she's a good coach. It's just not going to work in Dallas. I just think the way the team's structured, the way the minutes have been allotted, it's crazy. I mean, just to watch them just be up and down. And I said this was a playoff team, and they could still be a playoff team. They have 9 wins. They're 9-12, but I don't really understand the offense. I mean, watching them get blown out by Minnesota, and then also too the way Vicki kind of criticized her. She's like, "Well, Isabel can't give me 20 and 8 and 2 points." And I'm like, "Well, her minutes are not consistent. I can't be playing 12 minutes a game, and you're expecting me to score 20 points. That's just no." I blame some of that on coaching. Then number 10, the New York Liberty. Benaj Laney should be back at some point. Congratulations to Benaj Laney and Jordan Hamilton as they tied the knot not too long ago. So congratulations to the both of them. They are 0-2. They lost to Atlanta and LA. Especially, they lost in overtime to the Atlanta Dream. And they were nowhere to be found. I watched that game. They really played very, very disappointingly. So, don't really know what to expect from the New York Liberty. I still think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll be a low seed, but I'm not. No, I think when Benaj comes back, I think some things will be better, but maybe they'll use the All-Star break to regroup as well. Number 9, the Phoenix Mercury. I feel bad for Skylar Diggins-Smith. I do. She should. I feel like, in my personal opinion, she should request a trade out of Phoenix. It's a mess, honestly and truthfully. The way this whole season has been, not having Brittany Griner there, a new coach, new system, injuries, and different things like that, she's carried that team on her back. I want to see her in a situation where she's happy. And then also to the Tina Charles situation where, the contract buyout, just a lot. Then Coach Nygaard kind of disregarding her for making the All-Star team, but bringing up Diana Taurasi, that was disrespectful. And then and I agree that was very disingenuous of her to do that. Because Skylar has been the reason the Phoenix Mercury had where they're at right now, because she's put the team on her back. So. I do know that they beat Indiana, and then I forgot who they played. I can't remember who they played after that, but I know they were 2-1. And this week, they lost to Los Angeles. They lost to the Sparks tonight, and then they played New York Thursday. So, number 8, the Atlanta Dream. Same thing. I mean, yeah, they were 2-1. Tiffany Hayes came back. Making her season debut. She had 21 points being on New York in overtime. Erica Wheeler was also out after she's back after she missed 6 games with a foot injury. Cheyenne Parker, I think, had 21 points in that game against Seattle. They're picking it up, but I think with Erica Wheeler and Tiffany Hayes, I think it brings a different dynamic back to their offense. There's more of a grit and grind team. I still think the Atlanta Dream can surprise people, make the playoffs, but the Atlanta Dream have tendencies to kind of have mental lapses. But they stay true to their word. It showed they went 2-1, and we played them Wednesday. So we'll see what happens. Number 7, Minnesota Lynx. They're starting to kind of pick it up. They demolished Las Vegas. I think the final score was like 102-71.
So when are we going to say something about it? You know what? I'm going to walk away. I'll be right back because I'm scared I'm going to say something that might get me in trouble because I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
AP, Aerial Powers, former Washington Mystic, had 32 points in that game. Also helped me secure a win in fantasy basketball. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I think they're now, since the 21st of last month, they're now 4-2, if I remember that, if I'm saying that correctly. That's more wins than the first 16 games they had this season. I cannot believe that. That's an interesting statistic. And then also if you keep in mind, Sylvia Fowles did not play because of injuries. So, and the depth, everyone's coming back healthy. So the Minnesota Lynx, there's going to be a second half surge. I can see it. I will put a guarantee on that.
Guarantee.
Number 6. I can't believe I'm really saying this. The Los Angeles Sparks. I will put Janae Gumake as 6th Woman of the Year as a candidate, but it should be Brianna Jones. Thank you very much. Lexi Brown is also having a great year. I know Jordan Canada's been out. She was dealing with COVID. Brittany Sykes, who I also have as Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Katie Lou Samuelson really starting to pick it up a little bit. Really starting to pick it up. Just having a good start off so far. Christy Tolliver. I know she was dealing with a calf injury. She only played 7 games because she's an assistant coach with the Dallas Mavericks. So she's starting to pick it up. Kennedy Carter, who I would like to see get more minutes. She not getting minutes I would like to see her get. I like to see her get more minutes, Coach Williams. I like to see that. Because, I mean, when you put her out there, she can play. Just give her the chance. I don't know what we're afraid of. Number 5, us, the Washington Mystics. Beat Las Vegas in overtime. You demolish Atlanta at home, and then to go on the road and lose to Connecticut the way we did. I believe there'll be a turnaround. I do. But this was, to me, I really felt like that was a much needed win. We needed that win. Because, I mean, we had it. But I'll leave it alone. Number 4, the Seattle Storm. Tina Charles, now a member of the Seattle Storm. I can't believe that. I really cannot believe that.
Relationship with your
Oh,
children.
my God.
They're 2-1. Tina Charles, in the 3 games that she's played, she's scored 15 points and 15 rebounds. They beat Vegas and Indiana, but they lost to Atlanta yesterday. Can't believe that. I think also, too, some of it is a lot of it, and this is my fear going into the second half of the season. Fatigue is going to start kicking in. It's going to, because again, 36 games, the scheduling is terrible. Quick turnarounds. Like when I asked Shatoy Walker, Kimbrell, Ariel Atkins, and Maisha Allen, like, what do you do when there's no basketball? And Shatoy was like, I kind of forgot because we've played game after game, and Ariel's like back to back, on home, back to back, on the road. In the midst of a FIBA season, that is crazy. The scheduling is just piss poor this season, and you're going to see a lot of injuries like that. That's crazy. It makes absolutely no sense. But the Seattle Storm doing the Seattle Storm things. Number 3, the team that was number 1, now they've fallen to number 3. The Las Vegas Aces. Now, I'm going to be careful. I'll watch my words. the Las Vegas Aces the last 4 games. They're 500. They beat Los Angeles, Minnesota. But then lost to Seattle and then lost to Minnesota. The Las Vegas Aces have lost the last 4 of their last 6 games. Remember, it started when they blew that 28-point lead against Chicago. I question why the bench is not getting the productivity. If you look at that starting 5, they're playing down there 40 minutes. I don't understand what it is, but it's starting to show. I'm not concerned, but my feet are in the air because the fact that you lost to a Chicago team where you blew a 28-point lead and then a rematch where you lose, you got embarrassed.
What the hell was that? I'm pissed off. Get it together. Y'all look like trash.
I believe they'll get it together. I'm just these last 6 games. Becky Hammond's got to really she's got to make some adjustments because there's just no way in heck I shouldn't be relying on my starters like that to play 40 minutes. Because again, down the stretch, that's fatigue. You've got to put some trust in your bench. And I don't like that at all. I don't. Number 2, the team that beat us yesterday, the Connecticut Sun. Number 2, poor after a couple poor starts. Combined to between us and Chicago, I think we scored 58 points to their 35. And they beat us in overtime. I mean, say what you want. Connecticut Sun have shown resiliency. They've shown grit, grind, mental toughness. And when it counts, that's what a championship team looks like. That's championship mentality. You got to give them their flowers. When it counts the most, they rallied, they held it, they picked each other up, and they're rolling with it. Number 1, and I cannot believe this, the Chicago Sky.
What? What? And you got to be kidding me.
After beating Connecticut and Phoenix, I cannot believe they're in first place, the number 1 seed. I mean, Candace Parker knows dealing with injuries. Emma Meeseman looking like an MVP candidate. Chicago Sky. James Wade, I gotta eat my words. This man talked about keep this narrative, blah, 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 keep that energy, same energy after saying we were saying Las Vegas is the best team. And he was like, keep that same energy. We'll be back on that other blah, blah, blah crap. He's made me eat my words. So that's week 9 of the rankings. I'm going to go cry in my truck. With that being said, I'm pissed. I cannot believe what happened yesterday. And then the Orioles won, so that kind of made the weekend a little bit better. But I am going to go to see the Washington Mystics on the 17th play the Minnesota Lynx, so I'll be happy to see what they're going to do for Silvio Follows at halftime on that game on the 17th. I did ask for I did ask for access to cover the team in person, but because of this month, because of Sylvia Fallows and Sue Bird, it's going to be limited. Because I know it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So I'll try again in August. But I love the Washington Mystics. I think they'll get better, but I don't really know what else I can say. But I'm also let me just really quick. I'm gonna play the questions that was asked with Ariel and Shakira, and I'm gonna get out of here. and then we'll cry in my truck.
All right, we can go and get started, Kareem.
Breonna Jones.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Um, for either one of you, is a loss like this a little bit more frustrating considering how well you guys played in the first half and just things changed so differently in that second half?
Yeah. I know you want me to elaborate on it, but you pretty much said it. We did some really good things in the first half. In the second half, we kind of had a 4-minute lull, and that's not something you can do in this league.
From your perspective, what was the biggest difference offensively? Is that just shots not going down, or did they? I know they played with a little bit more juice that second half. Was that enough to make such a drastic change?
I mean, you can't give some of the credit to them, but I think we stopped being as aggressive. I think the first half you saw us with our eyes up, looking down the floor, looking down the lane. And I feel like when we got to the second half, we were more so focused on like passing it around the perimeter versus getting it in to out.
And just one last one. What was the conversation going into halftime? I mean, I know, when you guys don't play up to your own standards, that can be a little bit draining. Did you feel like you guys were in a good space to bounce back as you guys got that extra period?
Definitely did. I think we've been in an overtime situation maybe once or twice this year. So we know what it feels like.
This was our third overtime game.
I feel like we could have came out with a little more energy, a little more juice, but
Cool. Appreciate y'all.
Jen.
Hey, everybody. Just curious, the offense is kind of the thing that jumps out, the like first and second half splits, but defensively, how do you feel like you all played to be able to kind of hang in there and at least force overtime?
I think, the first half defense was pretty solid, but like she said, that 4-minute drought of where we, relaxed a lot, it hurt us. And just being able to stop them from crashing, I think they got most of their points just off of our like simple turnovers and just getting second chance opportunities. So, we just need to clean that stuff up.
And Ariel, for you, how do you kind of evaluate your individual performance, with those 12 first half points throughout the game, though?
I kind of attest to it at the beginning of when I answered Kareem's question. I don't think I was as aggressive in the second half as far as not only hunting shots, but hunting shots for my teammates as well. Knowing that they were going to pick up the pressure, knowing that they were going to come out with extra juice. I feel like I could have been more aggressive for my team to not only open up things for myself, but others as well.
Thank you both. Safe travels.
Thank you.
With that being said, I forgot to play that earlier. I do apologize. Look, they'll get it together. Just frustrating because I know what they're capable of. They're champions. Just a lot of emotion. That's what I have. But that's going to conclude the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, be tuned in for future episodes. Tomorrow you'll see the video with the NBA free agency. Be on the lookout for shorts of by draft grades for this past NBA draft. Be on the lookout for that. I need to get a baseball video in there for the Orioles. Probably you'll see that Wednesday. But until then, please stay safe out here. Check on loved ones. Take care of yourself. I know Friday was like self-awareness day. Like make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally and checking on those as well. So like a self-care day, something like that. But yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. I will catch you guys on the flip side.
Because, it is what it is. It's so great to be great.
Listen, I'm easy to find.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.
And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.